Mm-hmm. Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone? So, good morning. How is everyone? How are you? I'm very okay. We are on day 2. We are on day 2. Day 2 of the week, Tuesday. So yesterday, Monday was very okay. Monday was very good. So now we are in day 2, and we are hoping that on Tuesday it will be an even better day. That is what we are hoping. And I hope I'm audible enough. I hope you can hear me. And I hope you have prepared your wallet. Because anything might happen. Anything might happen today. So remember, if you are here, if you have joined me right now, we are still going to be here during the New York session. So from 10 to 12, we will be here. Okay? From 4 to 6, we will be here again. We have to make sure that when we are capturing that, we're in the jungle. Right now we're in the jungle. So we have to give ourselves all the chances we can to capture that meat or that buffalo. And with time, when the buffalo is most likely to appear, that is when we also appear. Okay, so these other times we are just in the shadows. But when we time from 10 to 12, 4 to 6, that is when the buffalo appears. And us, as the lions, we are there. Yesterday we were there. We ate something very nice on GBPUSD. If you are not there, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for you. Okay, so yesterday we had a very nice, very good, very nice. This is the trade, our yesterday's trade. If you are in our live session, you saw us take this trade. Okay, so this trade went 60 pips to our take profit. This trade here you can see, so from this level to this level. So what I did is, after the first 30 pips, I took some profits as expected, as it should be done, as you should do. And then I left the other the other small trade to continue running, but I took my overall profits at this level. However, if I would have waited from 6 to those are how many hours? From 4 to 10, 6 hours. So ideally, this is from 8 to 2 p.m. New York time. So this trade went for 6 hours, but I got out in the first 1.5 hours, or in the first 2 hours. I was out with my position, and I was okay with that, with what I had gotten. So this is to remind you, the good trades, we are not short of the good trades. We can never be short of the good trades. We just have to avail ourselves to take those trades at specific times. Okay? So at specific times of your day, you have to dedicate 2 hours plus 2 hours to make or break your wallet. So if you have $1,000, this year you should be targeting $10,000. That is the minimum. You can target 20,000, but $10,000 is the minimum. If you have $100, $1,000 is the minimum at the end of the year. Is it possible? Very, very, very possible. Extremely very possible. Not just possible. Extremely very possible. So it is only you and your discipline which will take the money away from you. But what we are doing is analyzing and taking trades based on serious price action. So we are using technical analysis. And technical analysis is usually a game of experience. Technical analysis is usually a game of emotional maturity. So most traders never mature. So, and as a result, they never learn how to wait for trades. Okay? They never learn how, they don't even learn how to take losses. That is the hardest part for any trader. Learning how to take losses. Sure enough, you can learn how to add to your wins. But the first lesson is usually learning how to take your losses. If you don't learn how to take losses, your work is telling us no risk, no Ferrari. You'll find it very hard to grow your account to the levels you want. So if you have $10,000 right now, your target is $100,000. If you have $100,000, your target is $1 million. So 10x by December. 10x by December. We are 10xing by December. So we wait for the good trades. When the good trades come, we take the good trades. But this was a very good sweet trade. My God. So on to today's business. So today's business is, first we go to GBPUSD. first of all, we have new information from the markets. So we have to decode this new information. What is it that the market is communicating to us on this Tuesday morning? You have to ask yourself, what is the market telling me this Tuesday? And how will I in turn act from this information the market is giving me? Those are two questions you have to ask yourself every day. Daily. So the first question is, what is the new information the market is giving me? For example, the new information the market is giving us is that yesterday on GBPUSD we were waiting, or we waited, or we wanted to wait for price to break this previous weekly low and break this previous Monday low, which was formed on 26th, to give us a signal that now these levels are all invalidated, meaning we are going down. So this was our signal. Now the next question to ask yourself, how do I benefit from this information? Because in this market, it is all about how do I benefit? How do we benefit, the 7 of us, from this information? Okay, yes, we have this information now, but how do we benefit? Okay, how do we benefit from this market observation? Now, we also have another piece of information here. This is Monday's high, yesterday's high, yesterday's high. So yesterday's high. So you can see I've written here potential high of the week. Potential high of the week. Do you have anybody on the YouTube? God damn. Everyone is asleep today. Alright, let's continue. So we have the potential high of the week. Okay, so price is yet to retest this high. Okay, price is yet to retest this high. So my anticipation or my observation or my technical analysis is telling me we just come and retest a bit, we start selling. Okay, because remember, when you look at the bigger picture, because all this analysis we are doing is useless if we don't look at the bigger picture. So you zoom out. We zoom out now, we see the bigger picture. This is the bigger picture. So you have to zoom out and see the bigger picture. And for you to understand the bigger picture even properly, you understand, you use what do we call this? Binoculars. And our binoculars is Fibonacci. So Fibonacci will tell us whether we are in a discount zone or a premium zone. Okay, so you can see that price is still above 50%. So that is still a buy zone. No, it's still a sell zone, still a good sell zone, because a good and a healthy buy zone will be between 60 and 70. And I always tell you one thing, you don't have to believe me. You just have to go and take your Fibonacci and backtest the last 5 years. You do that, tabulate that on a piece of paper, on a book. You buy a book, then that book, you divide it. After you divide it, You start tabulating 4 hours. You tabulate all the top highs and top lows. Get whether price reacted off that area. Note it down. Do that for the next 5-10 years. 10 years back testing. Because only then will you have confidence in the tools you are using. So I can give you, whatever I'm giving you is probably 20%. These live trading sessions. But 80% is you. The burden is on you. Okay? So this is the best buy position. Meaning we have, what do we have? We have the capability of coming down. Capability of coming down. So we have the capability of coming down. So we have the capability of coming down up to this level now. So we have the capability of coming down to that level. Okay? The other entry is you can just decide to go in right now. So that's about a 30 pip stop loss. I'm not sure I should go in. Alright, now we have a confirmation. We have if price breaks below that level, if it breaks below this equal lows, if price breaks below these equal lows, then and only then can we decide now to sell. So we are in the higher time frame is indicating sales for us. Okay, so we are just servants of the higher time frame, executing what the higher time frame is telling us. So let us wait for price to break that level before we decide to go in. But if it breaks that level, there is huge potential to the downside. Huge. Not just potential. Huge potential. Huge potential. So it's just a matter of waiting and seeing what the gods have in store for us today morning. And if you have not seen my earlier post, if you are trading an account of less than $1,000, you are doing yourself a very big injustice. Not 1,000, 10,000. If you're using less than 10,000, you're not only playing with fire. You're not only playing with fire, because fire is going to burn you. You're playing with your life also, my friend. You are playing with your life, and we shall not be there to sympathize with you when you lose everything. So if you don't have 10,000 USD and above, keep off from that pair. Keep off and don't feel bad when others are eating. Right? So GBPUSD has refused total. Okay, it has not refused. See, this phenomenon which is occurring in the 1 minute time frame, it's also occurring in the 3 minutes time frame, it's also occurring in the 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. So unless you don't know how to utilize the lower time frames, a foolish person will always call these smaller time frames noise. Yet he is the one who has noise in his head. So we seem to be breaking that level right now. We seem to be breaking that level. Price is struggling for a small bit. But when we finally break that level, there is a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential to the downside. Serious potential. So based on our technical analysis, we have come to the conclusion, or we have come to the conclusion that we have a bearish momentum on GBPUSD, and the only way GBPUSD will convince us otherwise is if it breaks above this level energetically with no problems. Okay, so if GBPUSD decides to close above this level, then we will know price does not want to come to this liquidity. But as soon as but if it gives us that signal that I am breaking this level and I want to come to this level and then I come to this level, because after it breaks these equal lows, the next possible or the next best area for entry is this level marked here. What is this level now? So this is the best next level, followed by this level here now. Followed by this level here. So we can see clearly GBPUSD just wanted to trap us for nothing. GBPUSD wanted to trap us. It wanted us to get in right now, and it does not want to do what? It does not want to do that. Why? Because it wants to trap us. But who are we? We are here. We are waiting for the it will be better for it to trap us after we get the confirmation, rather than we get in aggressively and then the price ends up pulling back all the way to this place. So you can see why entries are very important. Entries and exits, in fact exits are some of the most important even compared to entries, by the way. Your exits are also bad. But on these live sessions, I've taught you how I get out of trades. I've taught you how I get inside trades. I've taught you all those things. For example, for bad trades, I give them at least 25 minutes if we are inside the inside the kill zone hours. I will give it 25 minutes, then I get out. When I'm in profit, the first 15 or 20 pips, I get out. I take some profit. Then I let the other pair, the position, run. So it seems that GBPUSD okay. Okay. So GBPUSD is retesting the equal highs. GBPUSD is retesting the equal highs. No, the equal lows. Equal lows. Sorry. On the 5 minutes time frame, it has filled a small fair value gap. So I'm wondering, is that what is going to take us down, or what exactly is it? So price has filled that small area of inefficiency, but it is yet to break these very significant equal lows. So 1, 2, 3. Let me mark them so that I cannot also forget. You know, sometimes I also forget. So because I don't want to forget, then I do what? I draw. And in fact, what we can do after we set this All right. So those 3 points. So those 3 points, okay? Imagine if we would have gotten in at this level. Imagine, just imagine. My God, this is a lot of pain if I would have gotten in right now. How many pips are these? Imagine, what is happening? Hey, you guys on the stream, are you seeing this? This is a lesson now we are learning live. Now this is the best. There is no better lesson than this lesson. Vincent Cheriot, my sound is not clear. What? You guys are saying my sound is not clear. OMG.
Line in.
So am I audible? You guys are saying my sound is not clear. Alright, I think now I'm audible. And everyone can hear me. Put some likes if you can hear me. Some likes and some love if you can hear me, because we are about to study a very important lesson this morning. This morning, we almost got decimated. We almost got burned. So we were waiting for these equal lows to get taken out, for price to close below. In fact, I had switched on my 1 hour time frame because I was waiting in anticipation that we are going to close below. Then we start taking out these lows here. Then we start selling immediately. But what has price done? Price has gotten to our area of interest and reversed back immediately, angrily. So, ladies and gentlemen, some lessons are better taught during the live session. For example, in this live session, 6 of you have seen me save my money. It is not only about seeing me win or lose. Sometimes you have to see me save my money, remain cash. Because this is a mistake. Very many, even me, I was making this mistake all the time. That because I've seen price, or because my bias, if you have a very fixed bias, sometimes it works against you, or most times it works against you. So if you have a fixed bias, it will work against you most of the times. So one of the things I have learned to do is not to have so much faith in my bias that I am right. Okay, and in turn, it has enabled me to develop many scenarios for which a trade could go in, and what I should do in each scenario. So for example, in right now scenario, I wanted to sell at this level because first of all we have Monday's high here. So it is already, in fact you can say we are even late to get in for a sale. But because I still want to get that final confirmation, the final confirmation is for price to break these equal lows By the way, let me add something. By the way, when you look at these equal lows, don't think that because they're in the smaller time frame, in the 5 minutes time frame, that they are useless. Can you see that price has just reversed on a 5-minute order block? How many pips are these? These are 20 pips, my friends. If you have 20 pips right now, and tomorrow you get 20 pips, you don't need anything else for the market for that week. I guarantee you. Okay? But that is not the point. The point is, waiting for a confirmation or an entry is very important as waiting for a exit signal. That is the point I'm trying to make here. Alright? Alright, so what do we do next now? Because our bias, well, it is not yet invalidated. I will not say it is invalidated. Our bias is not yet confirmed. That is the right language to use. So our bias is not yet confirmed. So the only thing we can do, the only logical thing we can do as serious traders. But as a trader, one thing you have to understand is that you should not always be so serious. Okay, if you are so serious, your seriousness is going to kill you. So you have to maintain. And you know, when you are maintain, you are what do we call it? So being not so serious gives you now the room to think under pressure. So you're able to make decisions very quickly when you are calm. That is the word I was looking for. When you are calm. So talking to you is a form of therapy, because now it helps me put my words into action immediately. So talking to you is a way of manifesting my trades. So I manifest good trades and then they come through. Anyway, so now the next logical step to do is wait for this high of Monday. It is also the current high of the week, by the way. Remember, my bias is a sell. So in my thinking, this should be an area which is just retested by price, then we start selling. Okay? So we are going to extend this, what do you call it? What is this called? This trend line. So that when these levels are broken, we are going to be there. We will be there. And how we will be there? We will be there. Technology. Look at this technology I'm using here. So I just set an alert, value. And then my value I set at 3684. So this technology has allowed me one thing, that even if I go somewhere and then I forget, my phone will be ringing. Price is crossing 1.36841, and then I'm going to take out my phone and then I'm going to put a sell in. Then I put my stop loss, then my take profit, then I close my phone, then I go away. That is technology. Alright, it's created. What the heck? 36841. Alright, now our area of interest is shown. Can you see it? If you can see it, give me a thumbs up. If you can see the dotted lines, give me a thumbs up. If you can see a dotted line, give me a thumbs up. So all right, so we may or we may not get our equals may or may not be broken, but that is of no interest to us. Why? Because for us as traders, good morning Alisa, I'm pretty sure it's 2:41 midnight. So what are your neighbors telling you if they are seeing you trading at if you are trading in the night, what are they telling you? So it's 2:41 a.m. New York time, but Kenyan time it's, what's the time in Kenyan time? But it's 10:41 Kenyan time. So our issue is our equals did not give us a confirmation. So our next point of interest is this high of Monday. Okay, so we were humble enough. We never wanted price to get here, but now because price has refused to give us what we wanted, now it is going to have to prove to us that indeed it is going down. If it does not prove beyond measurable doubt, then we are not getting in that trade at all. I've just manifested that. So the only way I'm going to take that trade, the only way I will take that trade if it confirms or it gives me a 90% confidence level to get in. Okay? That brings me to today's point also. Now, there's a point I told you, it's something I told you yesterday on Monday. I told you during the London session, I told you this on Saturday. So on Saturday I told you, if you are listening to me, that once I hit my target, I will not be trading on my normal account again. I'll be trading on my smaller account, because I want to preserve these profits rather than trying to go in and get more. Okay, so ideally I'll be curbing my own greed in real time as you watch. So yesterday's trade would have been that trade, but unfortunately I did not go in with a very big lot size, so I'm still in until further notice. But yesterday's trade was a very good trade. A very good trade with a very good confirmation, very good take profits. Although we had to stay for almost 6 hours before getting these profits. But even if you stayed for 1 hour, for example, I stayed for 1 hour, there's no shame in saying that I still got a 1:3. A 1:3 because my risk was 10 pips. And remember, what matters is not how many hours you wait for a trade a single day. Well, that matters. But what matters even more is your risk to reward. And what matters even more is how much you win when you are winning. So are you able to add to your winners? But remember, I'm always telling you guys to remember. And you must remember, you must always remember. But remember, all these are skills. You learn these skills one by one. So the first skill to learn is how to lose. That one takes between 1 to 4 years. You have to learn how to lose, whether you like it or not. You have to learn how to persevere when you are taking that loss. And when you learn how to persevere when taking that loss, you also start planning in advance how much you're going to lose. That is the first lesson which many people never get to, because either they are very fearful, you are afraid of losing that, you are not comfortable even losing it. Okay? By the way, we blame people, I blame traders for being greedy, but sometimes, or many times, traders are also fearful. You have $10,000, but you are afraid of putting on a trade. You are afraid. When you put on a trade, you start shaking. You start crying. My friend, that is trauma, and you have to stop trading immediately. You have to see a therapist. I'm not joking, by the way. You have to see a therapist if you are at that position, because it means, what it means is simple. You have lost so much, and losing is like being physically hurt. Imagine if someone would shoot your leg every day in the morning. What kind of a person would you be in 6 months? The answer is you'll be very traumatized. So as a trader, you may have taken so many losses to an extent that even when you get an edge, even the day you become consistently profitable, your past trauma is going to stop you, because you'll be operating from a place of fear. Okay, the only reason I'm preaching is because GBPUSD has disappointed me. So you'll have to wait for GBPUSD. So if you are feeling fearful of taking trades, that is not, and you know clearly that you are good in technical analysis, you can use your AI to help with fundamental analysis, you can read CFTC report clearly, you know when to get in and when to get out, you know how to use risk, you know how to read the market structure. If you are good in all those things, yet you find yourself afraid of taking trades, that is a deeper problem. And the only way you address that deeper problem is through a therapist who is going to understand what kind of job trading is. Because again, you cannot go to open up to somebody who does not understand the nature of trading. If they don't know the law of large numbers, if they don't know psychology, if they don't know risk management, if they have never lost in the markets, then they cannot also help you. In fact, you'll find out that you may have more emotional resilience than them, because if they are put in your shoes, all their psychology goes out of the window. The other way is to first stop trading. You stop trading completely for maybe like 6 months or even 1 year, and then in that time, use that time to understand yourself better. How do you eat? How do you sleep? Because those small habits affect your trading decisions. So use those 6 months to understand why are you fearful? Do you want to go back to trading? Why do you feel? That is, you use 6 to 12 months for total introspection. Is it that you don't have an edge? Is it that you are operating from a scarcity mindset? What is the problem? Because at the end of the day, there must be a problem, and you must find a way to solve that problem. There must be a way to solve that problem. There's no problem on this earth you cannot solve if you are serious enough about wanting to solve it. And I am saying this for all the problems in this world. If you are serious about solving any problem of yours, you will find. But the problem with us is that we know the problem. We know where the problem is. But we are afraid of facing the problem. We think that the problem is going to go away on its own. That the problem is going to, after 5 months, that problem will no longer be there, and we're going to be living a very good life, we'll be happy, we'll be joyful. But remember, that problem has been stored in your subconscious, and it keeps on growing daily, 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 daily. Well, I will not lie. Some problems go away on their own after you begin understanding the markets. Okay? For example, impulse trading will go away on its own eventually, because you realize I don't need to trade all the sessions. So that's a simple problem which goes away on its own. But what about the deep-rooted problems? The deep-rooted problems are the problems which you are born with. Okay? For example, if you are a person who is very hot-tempered, that's a deep-rooted problem which is going to reflect in the markets. A must. That is why some people will go for 10 years without ever making any money, 15 years, 20 years. But 90% will quit because of those deep-rooted problems. Or perfectionist. Maybe you're a perfectionist. You believe that you should have the best exits, the best entries. Those are problems, by the way. Those are issues, human issues. And when the market does not give you the perfect entry, the perfect exit, the perfect pips, you refuse to take that trade. And then what happens? You start resenting yourself. Slowly by slowly. Or you have a scarcity mindset, such that when you have a winning trade, instead of adding to your winners, what you do is you take out your winners very quickly because you believe the market is going. That joke is very funny. So you have a scarcity mindset because you believe, subconsciously you believe you don't deserve the good things in life. So even when you're winning a trade, you want to take out that trade very quickly because you're afraid the market is going to come after you and your money. You know, the reason I'm laughing is because this is a problem I have faced, and I'm still handling it even up to now. Okay? So we all have our problems in the markets, and unless you can go inward and say, this is my problem and this is how I'm working on it, if you cannot do that, what will happen is other small problems will start coming up now because you refuse to accept that small mistake you had first. For example, today I've posted and I've told people that if you don't have 10,000 USD on gold, you should not be trading gold. Yet you'll see someone placing a 0.1 lots on 100 USD account on gold. So that person who ignores this is still at the lowest levels of understanding the market. But eventually they will also come to a place and understand why, or they will appreciate why I'm giving them that warning. Okay? So alright, at least we have one person on the YouTube live stream. That's more than enough. So how did I heal my own traumas in the market such that I can come to the market and trade calmly? What happened? So for me, it was a long journey of doing something called a health detox. So a healthy detox is, how many are you? I don't like saying these secrets when there are a lot of people. So for me, what I did is I did a herbal detox. Okay? And not just a herbal detox, a 6-month herbal detox. Now, I'm not going to explain the medicinal aspect of it. I'll just explain the psychological and the emotional benefits that I have seen from the herbal detox. Okay? So 6 months ago, my the person I am, the trader I am right now, is not the trader I was 6 months ago. Okay? I have noted a lot of changes in those 6 months, and I have come to learn that herbal detox is not only medicinal, but it is also psychological. For example, all our traumas, let me look here, which body part stores traumas? So our trauma is stored in the nervous system. Okay? So our traumas are stored in the nervous system, and then we have our past anger is stored in the liver. Now when you do that herbal detox, because these traumas and these angers have a chemical connotation to them. That means when you are angry, it is not only your brain which is very angry. When you are angry, there is also a chemical attached to that anger. So when you do a herbal detox, the herbs interfere with that chemical connotation of anger. I don't know whether you guys are understanding me. Shit, we have digressed so much. But the point is, I had to do that, and when I did that, in 6 months, I have noted that I can be very calm on the screen. And this has also led me to start eating properly. So because the food I am eating is also affecting the way I'm trading. So I no longer eat junk, I no longer eat bad foods, because I need to be in the market and make the best decision possible, the best decision I can. Okay? So for you who has been in the market maybe for 5 years, for 6 years, for 7 years, and you have not seen any results, possibly it's your trauma. And you can treat your trauma by first staying away from the market, or in short, what I'm realizing is that to be a great trader, you have to be your higher self. This is not a lie. This is not something I'm making up. I wish it was not true. I wish it was not true, because in my normal life, the way I was living, I like to have a lot of fun. But to be a great trader, it's either you're a trader or not a trader. It's either you're in the 5% or not. You're not in the 5%. So to be a great trader, not just an analyst in the markets or a speculator. To be a great trader, you have to be your higher self. And your higher self is the person who does things without negotiating. In fact, you are eager to do those things. For example, you have to get to a place where you are eager to look at your past trades and understand where the problem is. You really want to know, where is the problem? How can I improve? And you have to be ready to find the answer using all means possible. So the first 4 years, the edge was the problem. The edge was the problem. From that point onwards, it was me and my discipline. And by the way, for some people, it will take you may understand technical analysis even in 2 years. But from year 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it is only your discipline which is going to carry you. Nothing else. Nothing else. Nothing else. So to be your higher self as a trader, either you can do a serious herbal detox. Number 2, you can stay away from the markets for some time. Number 3, you can look for a therapist, an experienced therapist, or you can even talk to me. You can book a session with me and I can help you. You can actually book a session with me and I can help you, because I have been through those issues. Number 4, no, those are enough. Those first 4, those are more than enough for you. That is if you are not able to take trades even when you are a good trader. Okay? Because that is just an issue with that's just a mindset issue. It's not a mechanical issue like not having an edge or needing more technicals, because some people need to study more technicals. They need to study more technical analysis, so that your problem is more of a mechanical problem, not a psychological problem. But a psychological problem, an example is not being able to take trades, or moving your stop loss, or there are many psychological problems. And psychological problems are handled differently than mechanical problems. Okay? Yes. And all psychological problems lead to one thing: you being your higher self. In fact, I believe that is why Jesse Livermore was never able to keep his profits. Why? Because he was never his higher self. He never got to a place where he had mastered himself. So Jesse loved parties. As soon as he made a killing, endless partying, endless partying. And you know, endless partying is involving yourself in low vibrational activities. Yet your higher self demands that all the time you are vibrating highly. Even when you are having problems in your life, at least you can think of the problems logically and critically, rather than allowing yourself to be carried away by your own problems and getting depression. Imagine. So you should not allow your problems to, or your trading issues, to get to a place that now you cannot think critically, because you need to think critically and you need to make ruthless decisions, and you cannot make ruthless decisions when you are sad. So it is a lot of work. In fact, you don't even need to detox. Well, that is the best method, but another way is to confront those voices in your head. But for me, I've realized it's more chemical than even psychological. So maybe GBPUSD is now very nice, very nice. So GBPUSD is returning to a area of interest. Because one thing I always told myself, if I can be able to maintain my cool when taking trades, then I'm going to be 100 steps ahead of everyone. Because that was a very big issue, even when I'm trading alone. Okay. Number two was consistency, being in the market every day. So the person you see trading here right now, waiting for these setups, is not the person I was 2 years ago. In fact, the person who I was 2 years ago, if they saw me today, they will be very surprised. Extremely very surprised. Because 2 years ago, I would have been caught in this bad trade here. You see this bad trade here, which we almost got in. I would have been caught in that trade. I know that because I'm telling you. I know that because it has happened to me, and that is why I'm telling you. Because I don't want it to happen to you. Because it's a very painful thing. Very painful. So GBPUSD seems like it does not want to break these levels. We can also look at USD. So looking at USD, we have new information. We have new information And that is what I would like us to look at before we even think about anything else. So from this point to this point is where we would consider a healthy buy. From this low to this high. Did the price respect that? Yes or no? Everybody say yes. So the first time price respected that was on which date? It was on Wednesday 21st January 2026. Then the next time it respected that level was, what the fuck, yesterday. Hey. So yesterday, how did I not see this? So yesterday, what? Are you guys seeing this? So yesterday, price action on US30 was very clean. How did I forget this? My God. My God. So price came and retested the possible best buy zone or our sweet spot. And when it did that, it not only retested this level, but it broke through these OBs. So it broke through these OBs very energetically. So it is not nice, it is not a very good thing that we missed this whole move, but that does not mean that now we cannot get in. So our next best buy zone, okay? So our next best buy zone is this one here, and I'm also going to use a buy limit, an alert. So on 48,800. Or 48,769. That's better. So today we have two alerts. But we can also put, because you don't have to come back here. It's not a must for price to come back here. It's not guaranteed. If it was guaranteed, then that would be something else. That would be good news. But because it's not guaranteed, the next best entry, so my first best entry would be like that for USD. But if it is not guaranteed, we have to kill these lows. No, those highs. We have to take out those highs or kill them. We kill these highs. So price has to kill these highs. Then break above with a strong Marubozu candle. By the way, if it's not a Marubozu candle, then keep off, my friends. So a strong Marubozu candle is just an energetic candle, maybe a 1 hour time frame candle. So these are very significant highs if you check closely. This high of 7th, 12th, 13th, 16th, 20, 22nd. So how many highs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 highs. Now if price breaks above these 7 highs, then my friends, you have to prepare your wallets, because God is calling us to partake of profits. God is calling us to partake of profits. My God. So the next possible take profit, we don't know. We don't know, because after it breaks this level, it is infinity. Infinity, my friends. So we also have to set a price alert at that level, because this time round I have to be there to witness everything. I have to be there. I'm going to be telling my grandchildren, I bought that US30 at 49.63 and I rode it all the way to 70,000. And this is the way we are doing it. We are making history right now. So that alert has been created. So unless now US30 does something very unusual, something we have never seen in history, like price coming and jumping of our alerts, I will be there, and you will be there, and we will be there. So that is US30. And remember, I told you, if you are setting these alerts, you must also download the TradingView app on your phone. I don't have a referral note. Maybe I would have given you to start your own TradingView, but most likely you also have your own TradingView. So, yes. What do I get for referring people to TradingView? Let me see. Okay. So now how do I post this? Alright, I'm going to post it later. But that's our GBPUSD alert. Our GBPUSD alert. So I'm going in on GBPUSD. All right, so I am in. So I am in. Now we just wait. We just wait. So that will be the ideal fast take profit. That's around 59 pips and a risk to reward of 2.44. So our confirmation was price taking out these equal lows. Now the only thing we await is for price to do what price usually do. Okay. So whatever price decides from this point onwards, you should know that I am prepared for the outcome. I have prepared for it. I have prepared for this trade. So let us see and wait. That's a 2.5 RR. RR. 2.5 RR. Risk to reward. You risk 20, you gain that. You gain 60. But still, that is on the lower end. On the higher end, if you look very well or if you look critically, let me remove this. If you look critically on the higher end, you'll find out that price has the potential to come to this level. Just like it did on GBPUSD. So this level here, So we are taking this trade as a high probability trade. Based on the core confirmations I have gotten. Based on the confirmations I have gotten, I've gotten in that trade, and I'm anticipating that it is going to give us profits. And if it is not going to give us profits, we endeavor to come out of that trade immediately if it does not do us justice. So the current time is 10:20 a.m. The current time is 10:20 a.m. But this trade has not yet closed in the 5 minutes time frame or in the 15 minutes time frame. So that means, let us wait and see. So it is 1/2. We're in the kill zone hours now. We are past the kill zone hours. we are 30 minutes into the kill zone hours. So our move, all right, seems like price is by the way, availing yourself to the market every day is not as easy as it looks. So you have to clap for yourself every day, because this is not as an easy job as it looks the way we are executing here. Okay, so you as a trader must give yourself some credit. So we are waiting for a sell, but the market has exactly (17 more minutes). If it keeps hovering, if it keeps playing the way it is playing right now, it means that is not a good trade. And remember, we are still going to be back again during the New York session. We are not yet done, unless of course we get what we want during this session, then we are still going to be back in the New York session. So it's just a matter of whether we have achieved our target or not. So if we're able to achieve a target, so today's and yesterday's trade, if they go in place, if they both hit take profit, then I'm not going to be engaging very heavily for the rest of the week. So this trade, just like all the other bad trades, has begun wasting our time again. It has begun once again wasting our time. I think it wants to retest again, so we have to let it do what it wants to do. So I have gotten in at 10:20. But I based my argument on the 1 minute time frame, because the 1 minute time frame seems to have broken this low. So I got in at this level. What is the problem with this level? That it cannot be broken, that it does not want to break this level. Okay, so that's the question I'm asking myself right now. Unfortunately, this candle did not close with a body, so only 10 minutes and then I am out. Only 10 minutes, get this, only 10 minutes and then I'm out of that trade. only 9 minutes. Only 8 minutes. By the way, I'm not even going to wait any longer. I'm out. I'm out. I'm very, very out. I'm out without small loss. So, sometimes the trade is not going to go the way you want. It has not gone the way I want. But is that a problem? No. Why? Because I've gotten out with a small loss. My anticipation was that we are going to start selling and then possibly sell until we come to these levels. But that is not what price had in mind. So we are going to wait for the serious confirmations, even if it means waiting. Does it mean waiting for this level now? No. You see this 15 minutes level? Is there news today? So we have news, but it is not now. So we don't even have a confirmed news event, because this piece of information says US government data may be impacted by the shutdown. Tentative events are subject to delay, revision, and cancellation. So this news today is not even serious news. So until we see price closing below, and then maybe closing below again, only 13 pips. So New York session, we will be here again. So in 3 minutes, we would have been taking out this trade. Because either it wants to collect more liquidity, or it's waiting for the New York Open to break that level. So my wish would have been that trade to give us profits immediately, but it has other plans. Maybe it wants to do more and more and more and more and more retest before it finally gives us what we want. And that is why we will be here during the New York session. The good and the nice thing is that we are able to cut out trades, bad trades, very fast. Now, we just need to capitalize on the good trades which are working, so that our margins, our wins and our losses outnumber each other by even 10 times. So Euro USD did not even break that level. It did not even break this level. It has retested this level and now it is coming for this level here. So this could be our turning point. This could be our low of the week. So the best thing, instead of trying to force these trades, the best thing is to come during the New York session from 4 to 6. So this trade has not broken our level of interest, and this leaves us with only one conclusion, that unless we see a break of market structure in the 15 minute time frame, then it is not really a valid break of market structure. And similarly, but not even similarly, overall is that if you're going to put on any trade, the trade has to be aligned with your risk. So that you can be able to save that trade while it is still a small loss, rather than wait for the trade to get to this point with a big loss, because you can always get back in, but recovering from a big loss psychologically is very tough, very tough. So I wish for us to meet during the New York session. Maybe by then we'll have more answers. So thank you for your time, and I hope you'll be available from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. or from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. New York time.